everyone, it's Heather from Buffering Saint. We are on the chapter about Mass in the summer book club that was put together by Heather from Buffering Saint. Heather from A Catholic Mom's Life. Hello, I love you. You're so sweet. And this is a collaboration with a bunch of other Catholic mommy YouTubers, and their links will all be down below in the description box. And so this chapter is about Mass, and my video is a little late because I couldn't decide what I wanted to talk about. There was so much that I wanted to talk about, like coming from a Protestant background as a convert. So if you're familiar with my channel, I do have a series called Roadblocks to Catholicism where I talk about things that I had to overcome when converting to Catholicism, things that I didn't understand, and the Mass was definitely one of them.
Knox make the mess and my cereal.
Is it on the floor?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta go clean up cereal off the floor. I'll be back. It wasn't that bad actually. There is a lot that I want to talk about the Mass, but so that video will be coming. My Roadblocks to Catholicism Mass video will be coming at some point. So, but this, I'm gonna try to stay on topic and talk about going to Mass with our kids. Lisa Hindi talks about in this chapter how she was kind of in a Catholic bubble when she was in college, and she always felt, you know, spiritually fed, and that led her to not being really prepared for the real world when her and her husband moved after college, and then her husband was in med school, and she often found herself going to Mass by herself or by herself with all her kids. When she was at that point in her life, she felt like she wasn't getting anything out of Mass. When they finally found a home parish, because they were moving around a lot, and they finally found a home parish, which I think is kind of funny because their home parish is called St. Anthony of Padua, who is the patron saint of lost things. So I thought that was funny that she was kind of lost in her journey in finding a home, and then her home ended up being the patron saint of lost things. So she talked about like how she wasn't getting anything out of Mass, and that is, I'm gonna get on my little Protestant soapbox, my former Protestant soapbox. That is such a Protestant mentality to have. It's like, because when you're a Protestant, the whole purpose of going to church is to worship God, yes, to recharge for the week and get a reboot and get rejuvenated, and it's all about like, what can I get out of going to church this weekend. And then if you leave church and the preacher had a bad sermon, or it wasn't a good sermon, or didn't like speak to you, it's like you feel kind of cheated out of going to church that weekend, like you didn't get anything out of it. So Lisa Hindi even says like that's a dangerous mindset to get into, because when we're going to Mass, it's not what can I get out of Mass, it's not about us. The Mass is not about us. The Mass is about Jesus and worshiping Jesus and God and thanking Him for everything that He has given us, and that's what the Mass is about. And when you go to Mass, you get something that no other Protestant church possibly could ever get. You get Jesus Christ in the flesh, in person. You are in the presence of true living Jesus Christ, and no Protestant church can ever give you that. The Mass is not for our entertainment. The Mass is for us to go and worship God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit, and it is not about us. So if we are in that mentality where it's like, I'm not getting anything out of Mass, then I think it was Bishop Fulton Sheen, he even said, if you don't get anything out of Mass, you don't bring the right expectations to Mass. When we approach Mass, it should be of the mindset like, even if the cantor is a bad singer, the homily wasn't that great, the gospel readings don't speak to you that day, it's like, even if none of those things happen, it's like you still get to experience Jesus Christ in the flesh, in His true presence. Like, He is with you physically, literally with you at Mass every single time you go to Mass. Even if for whatever reason you're not in a state of grace and you can't partake in the Eucharist, you're still in His presence. And so if that should be enough. Even if everything else is bad, that by itself should be enough. And then You're also in the presence of thousands of angels at Mass. You're in the presence of thousands of angels. Even if it's like a Monday morning Mass and there's only 2 physical people there, there are thousands of angels at Mass. Your guardian angel is there. The guardian angel of every single other person who is at Mass is there. Thousands of more angels come down from heaven to assist in the Mass. Like, that is just amazing to me. I'm gonna step off my soapbox now. I got off topic. I knew it was gonna happen. That said, like, I know it's hard to concentrate all the time when I have 3 kids. I'm not always able to concentrate fully and participate fully like I would like to, because my daughter has to go to the bathroom 5 times, or my 3-year-old can't sit still for longer than 5 seconds, and I might have to go nurse my baby because she doesn't like the cover. I understand what it's like to feel like you can't fully participate in Mass because you have to also attend to your children. But even if you can't fully attend to Mass, you're still getting the graces just from being present. Just from being present at Mass, you're still getting those graces. And our babies are only little for a little while. After a while, they'll grow up, they'll be able to sit at church and be quiet, and we'll be able to pay more attention in Mass. Oh, I see you. Well, and then they'll become teenagers, and we'll probably have to argue with them about even wanting to attend Mass. So these times too shall pass, and it'll be okay, because you're still getting those graces from going to Mass. You're still getting to sit in the presence of Jesus Christ. So that's my video. I don't know, hopefully it can help somebody, and just to help you if you're in a rut where you feel like you're not getting anything out of Mass. Hopefully just kind of changing your perspective on that will help you to feel like you can get something out of every single Mass. Just remember that you're in the presence of God, Jesus is physically there with you. Like, that is so amazing to me. I'm gonna leave a link below about what saints have said about the Mass. It's a Church Pop article, I think. So I'm gonna leave that link below, so go check that out. If you enjoyed my video, subscribe, like, comment, let me know. If you have any tricks for getting your kids to behave at Mass, because there was a guy at church last week. He had 6 or 7 sons with him, and he was by himself. Like, his wife wasn't there, and they were also perfectly behaved. I'm like, how did this guy get all these boys to behave? And my 3, I'm struggling with my 3. And there were 2 of us. It was me and my husband were at church with him. So I thought that was amazing. So, all right, that's all for my video today. Thanks.